We have an update from Katie. You guys loved Katie. She was the daughter-in-law who made the very brave decision not to stay at her mother-in-law's house over Thanksgiving. So she was going to go to the dinner but not sleep over. And that decision made her mother-in-law tell the entire family that Katie hates the whole family because she's not sleeping here. Absolutely bananas. But she's back with an update. I want you to stay until the end because she made a very important decision regarding the birth. She's about to give birth to their first baby based on how this all went. So she's back to give us an update after she held her line for Thanksgiving. So here's her letter. My husband really is wonderful. Now, she didn't start off like this. I condensed her letter. My husband really is wonderful. He knows exactly how his mom is and always puts me first, especially as we get close to welcoming our first baby. Now, you guys, I don't remember this from the first letter. Maybe she told us, but I don't remember her being pregnant. But she's very pregnant. She's in her final weeks of her third trimester. So this is the kind of stress I wish I didn't have. A week before Thanksgiving, I told him I was really on the fence of going, but I could tell my husband would have been disappointed, mostly because he wanted me there to have some family time, but also he knew the backlash would be enormous if I stayed home. Against my better judgment, I did go, but I didn't stay overnight. Pause. Another thing we didn't know last time was how far of a drive this is. So for anonymity, I'm not going to say the exact time, but it's more than 5 hours, less than 10 hours. That's a long drive for Thanksgiving. So she's in her final weeks of pregnancy, and it is more than 5 hours, less than 10, and we don't get that much time off work. So just knowing that, remember that as we see how her mother-in-law greets her. When we arrived, my father-in-law greeted me warmly, asked how the baby was, how the drive was. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, walked right past me. Not a word, not a greeting, no happy Thanksgiving, nothing. Wow. I spent most of the night in the living room talking with my sister-in-law. When my husband hugged his mom, she barely responded. She never looked at me, never spoke to me, never asked how I was feeling, how the pregnancy was, nothing. I sat there in my final weeks of my final trimester with her grandchild, completely invisible. It honestly felt like we were being punished, not only for me not staying overnight, but for not calling enough, not visiting enough. Well, of course, you're not visiting enough. You live several hours away. Not keeping the relationship exactly how she expects. My father-in-law, on the other hand, he was his usual kind self. So I have something to say here. If you remember from the first video, she said that one of the reasons why she didn't want to be there was because her mother-in-law will spend the entire night belittling her father-in-law, and it's extremely painful. I wonder, just conceptualizing, speculating, I wonder if she's jealous of your father-in-law, if it comes so easy because he actually is a genuinely kind person and people gravitate towards him, and that's all she wants is people to gravitate towards her. And because she's not getting it and he is, I wonder if that's why she's kind of trying to push him down so people really see who he really is and stop putting so much attention on him and give it back to her. It's just so sad, but I just thought of that when I was reading your update. When I finally said it was time for me to go, I got up, I thanked everybody. I said it was nice to see them. My mother-in-law looked up and said, "Thanks for coming." That was it. There was no warmth. She didn't get up. My father-in-law and husband are the ones who walked me out. This is what I mean with emotionally immature parents and in-laws. They're so scared of being rejected and not enough that their defense system and their behaviors are what actually pushes people away, and what they fear is having people go away from them actually happens because of their behaviors. Now, they'll never realize this. They'll never see it this way. I just want you to see this in real time. Like, her mother-in-law is behaving in such a way. She's pouting like a toddler because she didn't get her Thanksgiving exactly the way she wants, which is her daughter-in-law to sleep in that bed in her house under her roof. And she's behaving this way, but what she's doing here is all she wants is a close relationship. But now what she's done is she's pushed her daughter-in-law away. This is so sad. She'll never see it this way. And this is not Katie's job to fix. This, if you're a fixer, if you're a saver and you love a project, this doesn't work this way. Like the wound is so ancient and so deep, they're not even aware of it. That's the sad thing here. So just as much as this is so heartbreaking and awful for Katie, for me, knowing what's also happening to the mother-in-law, it's heartbreaking for me as well, just to know that she's showing you this cold exterior and she's breaking down on the inside. I know it is. I know she is. All right, sorry, let's continue. As soon as I got in the car, I cried the entire drive to my relative's house. Later, when I talked to my husband, I told him what it was like. He was so upset. He had sensed the coldness, but he hadn't seen it because he was busy talking to his relatives. What hurt the most was watching his mom chat and laugh and ask everybody else about their babies and their lives, while she never asked me a single thing about mine, not one. That night became my final straw. I've decided she won't be allowed in the hospital or at our home when the baby is born. My husband fully supports it. We won't be traveling for Christmas. It's too close to my due date. Yes, definitely. And I can't be back in that environment right now. Thanksgiving was my chance to see if any of this could shift. Instead, it confirmed exactly what I feared. Moving forward, I'm choosing boundaries that protect my mental health, my pregnancy, and our growing family. Katie, oh my gosh. Now, your words helped everybody so much last time, and I know this will help even more. This is such a good, like, you just laid out an example for people, and so many people are going to feel seen. They're like, yes, this is what it's like for me. And I'm so sorry. I can't imagine. I was so uncomfortable. Like, in my last weeks pregnant, like, my joints, everything hurt. I can't imagine, rolling myself into a car, being cramped for multiple hours, getting there and being treated like I'm not welcome, being treated like I'm invisible. That would just absolutely crush me, but also would crush me the whole time you're there and she's treating you like this. You're knowing that you're letting go at the same time. It's just so painful. I can tell that you're very gracious. You've been so patient. Like, I feel like I have a good sense of who you are. I've spent a lot of time in your head with reading your words because you've written, such beautiful letters to me, and it's such an honor. You're such a kind person. You've tried so hard, but with this type of defense mechanism, you can't penetrate it. Like, your mother-in-law is literally making it impossible for you to have a relationship with her, like the kind that you want. And I would have to grieve that. It's sad. And it seems like you have. It seems like you've grieved it. And now you've come to the acceptance. And now you're at a place of setting some boundaries, which this is absolutely beautiful. And what I like about this is what I want people to do, is fully see, fully understand what they're working with so that they can set healthy boundaries preemptively, is that the right word? Proactively, so that you prevent a full-on estrangement, unless that's absolutely necessary. But right here, you're just looking at, like, this is what I need to have a healthy pregnancy, a smooth delivery, and to really protect my mental health as we go through the holiday season. And you're doing it without saying, I'm cutting you all the way off. You're trying this first. And I just applaud you. I thank you so much for sharing your story with us. You have helped so many people. Your story resonated with a lot of people. We got messages. People responded in the comments. You saw all the views. So thank you. I hope you have a really stress-free, calm Christmas. I hope your delivery goes smooth. The first few weeks are nice and calm and you have the right support that you need. And please keep us posted, because you definitely have a way with your words. I love the way your brain works. I love your heart. And I definitely appreciate you sharing this with us. So thank you.